Worldwide Hippies presents Hippie News and Stuff with Winston Smitn and the Worldwide Hippies News Team.
Welcome to Hippie TV News and Stuff for the week of September 7th, brought to you by WorldwideHippies.com. Citizen journalism, collecting, reporting, analyzing, and disseminating news and information for you. I am Winston Smitn. Condoleezza Rice is in hot water. P.E. Nolan is here with a report. Atheist registry. The doc is in. Unemployment is caused by hurt feelings. Hippie is here also with something sweet, our asshole of the weekend, more. Our top story. Amid the release of 35,000 new cables by WikiLeaks last week comes new and tragic news about the 5 deaths of Iraqi civilians at the hands of U.S. forces. According to the anti-war blog, a cable from Philip Alston, UN Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial, summary, or arbitrary executions to the U.S. Secretary of State, which at that time was Condoleezza Rice,
you know my name, bitch, Condalisa Rice,
sheds light on how alleged accidents and extrajudicial killings by U.S. soldiers and Marines may have been adjudicated internally, punishments waived, and the truth summarily cordoned off from the public view. Just how many cases there ultimately were, we may never know, but we do know of these 5 bound and executed innocent people, including children under 5. They call it the fog of war. We call it obstruction of justice. These cables are a smoking gun as far as evidence to further investigate Condoleezza Rice,
you know my name, bitch, Condalisa Rice, right?
For obstruction of justice, accessory to war crimes, and also racketeering in the cover-up. Condoleezza Rice
We don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud.
is sucking up a lot of press lately in her ongoing media tantrums with Dick, the other war criminal Cheney.
GOP, Bush 43, DOS, COP.
With the media, while all too happy to exploit the exploiters, that being Dick and Condi, and make bank on their drama, avoid the questions the WikiLeaks cables scream to be asked. Just a reminder, Condoleezza Rice, there are no statutes of limitation on war crimes.
I love war production.
We don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud. We don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud.
And to think that you had sex with George W. Bush in the White House. Yuck. Here's P.E. Nolan. Please, take that visual out of my head, sister.
Thanks, Winston. Right after September 11th, when school resumed in Lower Manhattan, a little boy in Sue Lucarelli's class looked up and said, "All I know is I need a hug." Sue gave him a hug and one of 3 teddy bears she kept in the classroom. Watching the children share bears and hugs all day, Sue promised that they would all have teddy bears. The next thing you know, with the help of a church in Sue's neighborhood, the kids at school sent over 58,000 teddy bears to other children in New York City, many of whom had lost a parent. Sue says that the remarkable reduction in anxiety and clearly positive impact of the teddy bear hugs sparked a love story that continues to this day in an organization called Hugs Across America. Hugs Across America now has 200 chapters in 36 states with a focus on children helping children. They provide teddy bears, curriculum material, and messages of care to lessen anxiety and fear experienced by children in crisis. More than 750,000 bears have found their way around the world. 800 went to Japan right after the tsunami. It just goes to show you that one person's intuitive response in the moment can wind up touching people in ways she never imagined. Back to you, Winston.
Thanks, Trisha. I'm back on track now. And how about this one? Fewer unemployed people are looking for work because feelings of desperation, helplessness are what stops them. That's what NJ Online says. And yet another pro-corporate spin piece presented as journalism, a Rutgers University survey on national unemployment, does point out that the reasons for people feeling helpless and such are, amongst others, they've run through their savings, they've borrowed money from friends and family, downsized and had to give up things that are essential like health insurance. Millions of productive workers have seen their careers stagnate or end and their finances crumble. Many are watching the erosion of what it took a lifetime to build. They are out of work and almost out of hope for themselves and the nation's economy. Carl Van Horn, director of the John J. Heldrick Center for Workforce Development and a co-author of the report, says the study's findings are they are putting an effort in but haven't been successful in finding work. Now, how one translates that into unemployed aren't looking for work because they feel bad is beyond me. But not for the corporate media. Watch in the coming weeks how the media take this unqualified or means-tested survey of 1,000 people and turn it into a fact-based research report on lazy, unemployed Americans sucking off the tits of entitlements. Shame, shame, shame. Help me with this one, Doc.
What's up, Doc?
Hey, thanks, Winston, and aloha grommets from the sunny beaches of Albuquerque, New Mexico. A lot of folks have noticed, probably have too, the two-party system has some drawbacks. What the two-party system guarantees, though, is that every election will be an exercise in denial of a populace aggrieved shouting, "No, no, you sodding awful charlatans, no more." And they throw the bastards out, not caring at all that much what's going to take their place and what depravities those people could be capable of. I agree with those who believe that McCain-Palin in the White House, we'd never have heard a peep about cutting Social Security or otherwise screwing with the safety net, such as it is. The greedy oleaginous perverts, that's the GOP, under Bush tried that in 04-05 after a successful election season and were still roundly beaten back by the dim minorities in both houses, and of course abetted by a massive public outcry and resistance. I've thought and said all along the GOP through the 08 election, which was tough on John McCain. Bombing Johnny's always been a fusty old fart, but he really got stupid mean since 2008. He desperately wanted to be the president and surpass his father's military accomplishments. President outranks Admiral. As to the coming election, I think the GOP probably wants to throw it too. There's no candidate in their clown car who's worthy of the effort of stealing it for them. Then in 2016, with the blame for all the troubles of the previous, what'll be by then 40 years, including the first really obvious evidence of the decline of the American empire, all that once and for all firmly affixed to the shoulders of America's first black president and his party, the party of losers, the GOP will sweep back in with Bush Cheney. That's Jeb Bush and Liz Cheney. The slogan, Bush and Cheney together again. Now that could revive irony. It's all about what Gregory Bateson called differences that make a difference. The thing to remember is Obama was elected principally because he was not a white male Republican, and because of a genius branding campaign that skillfully made it seem that that actually mattered. Back to you at Hippie Central, Winston.
Thanks, Dr. Woody. Your enlightenment is brighter than the far side of a solar eclipse. And here's Hippie with her report. Hippie? Hippie?
Hello? Hi, Winston. I'm just about to get a snack. Can I call you right back? Okay, thanks, bye.
Hey, Hippie. Hippie. Have some chocolate. Recent studies involving more than 100,000 people found that those who eat chocolate on a regular basis reduce their risk for heart disease by 1/3. Because of my fat and sugar content, I should be consumed in moderation. But flavonoids found in cocoa products like me have antioxidant, anti-inflammatory effects, and may improve insulin sensitivity, reducing the risk for diabetes. Chocolatey.
Hey, Hippie. Get me baked. Scientists fed 18 volunteers a bunch of potatoes twice a day and found that after a month, their average blood pressure readings had improved. One potato served without toppings has only 110 calories and lots of phytochemicals and vitamins. Microwave me to preserve my nutrients. I'm one studly spud, man. Hey, don't listen to this guy. You want to preserve muscle and lose belly fat? During a 4-month study, a group of women all got the same amount of exercise. Some ate high amounts of dairy and other protein and low carbs. Some did the opposite. The results? The higher protein, high dairy group experienced greater body fat and abdomen fat losses, greater lean muscle gains, and greater increases in strength. The other group lost more muscle. Have a taste of me, 'cause let's face it, Jelly Bean, you could stand to lose a little of that tummy, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm gonna go.
Hey, Chocolate, why don't you come over here and give me some sugar? Oh, give me a break, man.
Back to you, Winston.
Oh, thanks, Hippie. And you can see Hippie, P.E. Nolan, and the Doc each week here on Hippie TV News and Stuff. Well, I hear it's time for our Asshole of the Week. And this week it goes to Internet Pastor Mike Stahl, calling for an atheist registry to keep track of people who don't believe in his God. According to Politicus, this is a story right out of Nazi Germany. What's next? Will we have our children outing us as atheists and pagans and heretics and turning us over to the fundamentalist majority police to be conveniently culled from the herd? Let me quote you some of Stahl's logic. Brothers and sisters, I've been seriously considering forming a Christian grassroots type of organization to be named the Christian National Registry of Atheists, or something similar. I mean, think about it. There are already national registries for convicted sex offenders, sex convicts, ex-convicts, terrorist cells, hate groups like the KKK, skinheads, radical Islamists, worldwide hippie members, etc. Okay, I put in the worldwide hippies thing there. This type of national registry would merely be for informational purposes. He went on to say, my family and I would sure like to know of those admitted atheists. Perhaps they are radical atheist hippies, whose hearts are as hard as Pharaoh's. In that case, if they are business owners, we would encourage all our Christian friends, as well as the various churches and their congregations, not to patronize them, as we would only be feeding Satan. Frankly, I don't see why anyone would oppose this idea, he went on to say, including the atheists themselves, unless, of course, they are actually ashamed of their atheist religion and would prefer to stay in the closet. No, Mr. Stahl, you stay in the closet, along with the other worn-out fabrics of racism, sexism, homophobia, and intolerance. And while you're in there, we will register you as Worldwide Hippies Asshole of the Week. That's it for this week. Please visit worldwidehippies.com for news and information from our own citizen journalists and news updated every 2 hours. And make a donation on the site or buy a Worldwide Hippies amulet or a t-shirt. 100% cotton tank tops with the Worldwide Hippies logo screened on the front. Yes, show your friends and others that you support Worldwide Hippies' efforts to keep up the howl for peace and justice. And you will see us here next Monday.